YouTube, this is Barrett with Gimpy Camper. We're coming at you today from Myrtle Beach State Park here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. This place is absolutely awesome. Now I saw, some videos in the summertime, and I'm sure it's hopping around here then. And I mean, it shows that it takes forever to just turn into the park in the summertime. But right now, it's New Year's was just the last day or so, and the park's not that busy. It's still nice weather, been in the 60s. It's a little cloudy today, but I think it's perfect weather for visiting the beach. I'm not a big, jump in the ocean kind of guy in the summertime. I always say, oh, I'm going to go to the ocean. I'm going to spend all day at the beach, and then I go and end up staying down there for like 15 minutes 2 or 3 times a day, right? So this way, it's not too hot. You can walk on the beach. You can enjoy it. It's probably about 50 degrees right now. That's why I'm wearing the old hoodie here. But, I've really enjoyed this trip. We have a few more days than usual, and so that really helps as well, and gives us just some extra time to enjoy things and not worry about having to pack up and get ready and go. As far as the campground itself, especially with the pros and cons here, one of the pros for coming in the off season, as well as it being fairly warm out here, is also that it's cheap. I mean, we paid $23 a night to stay here this week. $23 a night. And I'm a quarter of a mile from the beach. It's a short walk. I found a actual shortcut. To actually walk to the beach, you gotta walk to the store, and then it's probably a quarter mile from there. You gotta go back across the way that you drive in and just walk down the sidewalk out here. But they have a nature center, and the nature center is right beside our campsite, which is at 155. And right across from the nature center, there's a trail. There's some horseshoes and stuff out there, and there's a trail there that just comes out to the main road, and all you got to do is, there's a playground there. You just walk across the playground, and boom, you're right here. I mean, it's a short walk, but it's not bad. Even walking the long way over by the store and down is not horrible from where we're at. It's not a real big walk anywhere in the campground, but I would try to stay closer toward the front of the loops, because it is going to make your walk shorter if your plans to come out here to the beach. We've had pretty decent Verizon service here. We've had 2 bars of 4G LTE, which has been more than enough to do whatever I wanted to do. I've not had to have any real long lags or anything like that. I've not had to reload my browsers or anything. And for the most part, it's done great for us. They do have some Wi-Fi. I've not tried the Wi-Fi. I usually avoid the campground Wi-Fi as long as I can get some cell service, just because I'm usually disappointed in the speed of the service there. So let's talk about some negatives of the park. I really don't have any. The park it's a huge park, and I understand the problems that people have when they have these huge parks about trying to fit as many spaces as you can into what space that you have, right? And so it turns into a balancing act, because you want to try to have the best sites, the best quality sites that you can, but you're doing this to generate revenue, and you want to allow as many people to be there as possible. Well, it turns a little janky in this campground just because of the map here. I just want to show you the map. And it's set up on loops, and the loops are all on top of each other. So you have like a central loop, and then a loop that goes a little further out, and a loop that goes a little further out, and then even another one that goes on the edge of the top loop there. Well, because of all that, and I understand that when it's busy in the summer, you have to do something to control the chaos. You can't have cars going everywhere. Well, the whole loops are set up on one-way system. So I'm at site 155. So if you turn into the campground, there's the store there. Well, you can't go past the store to the left where my campsite is, because it's a one-way street. And so there's an RV parking space there. So to park your RV, if you check in at the RV space there, then you have to go follow that loop around behind the store, come out by the store. You can pretty much see my campsite there, but you have to turn left, go past the store, all the way down to the end loop, and then turn left on that loop, follow it all the way around to the other side of the park, and then end up at my camping spot. So, you know, that's just a little inconvenience. It's not bad. And really, when you got stuff like this, I don't know about you, but I'm not leaving the park too much because I'm right here. I don't need my car to come down here. So I'm just heading on over. The only other negative thing that I've seen people mention about the park is the airport being close by. Truthfully, it didn't really bother me that much. It bothered me a little bit more after I saw somebody complain about it, because that's what it does to your brain. You know, I guess in the summertime it probably is busier. We've not had that many jets fly over, and those don't really bother me. But what's irritating a little bit is all the helicopters. So you'll see a helicopter like come up and go over the ocean and then go back, and then come up and go over the ocean and then come back. Apparently, looking at some coupons and stuff, they do helicopter rides for $20 a person, which seems a little different. I'll just say that. And there's a coupon in this free coupon book that I've got that gives you $5 off as long as you have 2 people. Anyway, so the campground, I'm really happy with it. I've really liked it. I'm going to, you know, give you my better sites and the sites that I would avoid and that kind of stuff. We want to start out by showing you a reel of some different stuff around the campground and some different adventures that we've had. And then I'm going to timestamp it right here. So if you want to know the actual sites that are better, that kind of stuff, you can skip forward to that part of the video. Or you can look in the description, which is probably going to be easier in this video because there are a ton of sites here. And so really the way that I organize those is kind of a best, better, and okay-ish. And okay-ish is okay-ish. Basically, one thing that I would take into consideration is keeping further in the front of the loops so that you're closer to the beach. But there's some good sites in the back of the loops too. But all of the sites, for the most part, well, most of them look like decent sites. The problem comes in with being too close together and privacy, which all big parks have issues with that, right? And so in the best, better, and okay-ish that I put out that I'll add later, those are based mostly on privacy. So the best are going to have a little bit of woods around you to keep you like a little bit of privacy, right? And the better ones are going to be like there's some thin woodland there, a couple of bushes or something, so it gives you a little bit of screen from your neighbors, but not a whole lot. And then the okay-ish, you're probably going to see the camper right next to you pretty clearly. It's probably going to be, but it doesn't look like that bad of a sight. And the ones that I would avoid, obviously I'm going to list those too. There's not a whole lot of those considering how big this park is. And really the ones that I don't have on any of those lists are probably still okay as long as you don't mind being 10 feet from your neighbor. Maybe 8 feet from your neighbor in a couple of instances, but you know, I like you guys, but you can come hang out by the fire, but I don't want to stare at the booty of your camper all day long. guys, so we're going down the sculptured oak trail. You know, this trail is, I'm not sure what's down here, but I told my daughter to look at the sign, see how far it was. She came back and said, oh, it's 5 miles. There's a decimal there, it's 0.5 miles, come on. You were how many feet away? 10 feet away? So, that decimal point, is that important? Alright guys, so some of the best sites are going to be 19, 20AA, 20B, 74, 60, 142, 155, 175, 188, 189, 190, 191, 194, 196, 198, 200, 204, 206, 208, 215, 223, 239, 241, 245, 298, 307, 309, 311, 312, 313, and 332. I think that's the biggest list I've ever put for preferred sites. Be sure to check out the description for sites that I would avoid, or you'll be stuck with something like this. This is 176 through 182. They're all horribly close together. And like I say, that's the number one downside to some of these sites, is the privacy and the space that you have. Otherwise, I think this is a really great park. You just got to be particular about the sites you book.
Do not forget to hit that subscribe button.